Welcome to Sharpen the Axe. Explore the bleeding edge of guitar and bass gear. Discover a sound uniquely your own and cut through the noise. With your hosts, Eric Lucero and Paul Berezetsky.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Lucero.
And I'm Paul Berezetsky.
Of Sharpen the Axe on Intertalk Radio, powered by Pitbull Audio. And we are here today with our gifted string wizard, Sean Hutchinson of Hutchins Sons Guitar Repair. How you doing, Sean?
Excellent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on. So you are our resident tech here at Pitbull Audio. So how about you tell us a little bit about your history as a guitar repair technician?
Yeah, I started tinkering, I guess, in high school with gear, as every boy who wants to play guitar. Grew up in a super musical house. My dad's a shredder, and his mom was a great piano player. So always grew up with music.
Nice.
And tinkered a little bit, and then started playing at church and running sound, and kind of was more in the pro audio side of things for a long time. But.
Right on.
But spent some time on the road with friends, with their band, kind of stage teching and faking as a guitar tech. Really just setting up the stage, setting up their amps and pedal boards and stuff, and then trying to take care of their guitars on the road as well. So that was kind of, I don't know, sparked my interest.
Did your dad kind of show you around the guitar, or you're just tinkering on your own? Kind
No,
of figuring it out? This is before the internet. I
yeah, this is like before YouTube,
Yeah.
and I'm an old dude, so this is like
Before University of YouTube to learn everything.
exactly. Yeah. We didn't have that. I didn't even know that you could be a guitar tech like as a living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I didn't know that was a thing, that you could actually go to school for that.
Yeah.
So I was just messing around. I wanted to be a musician for sure, and I was more of the singer-songwriter. My dad's definitely the shredder, Santana shredder. But so he wasn't more on the gear side. I mean, he's a great player, but wasn't a gear fanatic like all of us are now, because it also wasn't available, and it wasn't as affordable as it is now either.
True.
So yeah, I just kind of learned by doing it and messing around, and then had a great opportunity at a shop up in Carlsbad where I was at. So I was like teaching guitar, working odd jobs. I was on staff at a church part-time. I kept making a bunch of babies. So I needed to do something with my hands. I wanted to start doing more repairs and stuff. So I got hooked up with a great internship at Buffalo Brothers in Carlsbad, which was like...
So this moonlights as a diaper changing station too?
It's totally,
Yeah.
two in one. That's why I have it carpeted. I keep it clean back here. It's a
good
changing
thinking.
station. It's like the family restroom. But yeah, so I had a great opportunity that just kind of landed in my lap at Buffalo Brothers, interning, and really cut my teeth there with learning proper guitar repair technique and...
So it was at Buffalo Brothers that you transitioned from being more of a stage tech, general stagehand, to being specifically a guitar tech and learning those appropriate skills.
Yeah, I mean, I was on staff at a church overseeing the music worship ministry, so I was working with lots of stage gear and front of house and leading musicians, and so I knew that realm, and then I just had an opportunity from the repair department at Buffalo Brothers to come in and help do customer service and run the business side of things, but also learn proper guitar repair technique on really high-end gear, too. It was like a...
They had a good reputation for selling lots of high-end stuff, like you do here at Pitbull Audio.
And vintage gear that came through the door, so it was a pretty rad opportunity.
So not a lot of room for error with those kind of instruments.
No, kind of a terrifying start. But they were really gracious, and all the guys there were great players, and I just had a really good opportunity.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how long then from your start at Buffalo Brothers have you technically been a guitar technician then?
I think it's about 7 years now. So I was there for a few years, and they had some business changes, and it eventually closed down. And so during that transition, I was crazy enough to try and start my own shop and do repair out on my own. Mm-hmm. And so I was doing that part-time and still doing ministry and on staff at the church. So. Yeah.
And that, which is Hutchins Sons Guitar Repair, the one you do on your own, is that still technically an operational thing, or is it Hutchins Sons at guitar or at Pitbull Audio now?
Yeah, so I had moved my shop a few different places and was operating under Hutchins Sons, which is just a play on my last name. Yeah. So we were trying to come up with a lot of stupid, clever things. I was going to do Strumsky and Hutch, but That was a little too.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that was a little too on the nose, maybe.
You also would have had to show up to every appointment in an El Torino.
That's true. And tighter jeans. I don't think I can fit in those 70s jeans and the Daisy Dukes.
You also, can you go across the hood without just tumbling off the other end? Because you have to exit everywhere with a business name like that in that manner.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we didn't do Strumsky and Hutch, but we ended up with Hutchins Sons, which was great because it was kind of a collaborative thing too, just having, I don't know, a heritage of music and art in our blood. And my dad designed my logo for me and kind of has been very supportive along the way with starting the shop and everything. So yeah, ran Hutchins Sons on my own for a few years. And then I met the Pitbull crew when I was on staff at a church here in San Diego, just from needing AV gear whenever we'd have mic cables break or radial DI. I remember we had radial DI go down, and so instead of buying stuff on eBay, I was able to just come down that weekend, pick up a DI, and take it back to the church. So Pitbull was like a huge resource for us and for me personally, and so I met the guys here, built relationship, and then started to pick up and drop off repairs on a weekly basis, and then they had an opportunity for me to come in and kind of build out the shop and bring repairs in-house.
Nice.
So it was like a good partnership for sure.
Yeah. And it's now, I mean, you inspect almost every guitar that comes out of here.
Yeah. So every guitar that gets sold and shipped out, I do an inspection on. If it's a guitar that's $800 or above, gets a full setup. Yeah.
And just so we can give the listeners at home some idea of the prices that you charge, like say for basic intonations and setups, what are some of the general price ranges for your services?
Yeah, so I'm not only just working on the guitars in-house and make sure they're playing the best that they can be before they ship out, because they don't always come that way from the factory.
Right,
a lot of them have had a lot of travel.
Yeah,
so they don't show up playing great all the time. But we make sure they are playing great, and we have a lot of happy customers that way, and it's a great service that we're able to provide for people when they're buying an instrument, especially when you're spending thousands of dollars on an instrument. You want it to show up the best that it can.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
if you want to kind of dive into the details a little bit, so I buy a guitar, and I wish this is something I known when I was younger. Something it's not always going to be playing quite right. What are the first most important things on a guitar that you can do to get the playability?
Yeah, I think it's like a balancing act. You know, you have a wood instrument, steel strings on it, you've got a steel truss rod in it. It's going to be changed and affected by temperature, humidity, all those things. So that's why we put truss rods in instruments, so that you can adjust that. But really, neck relief, so having proper relief in the neck. If it's too straight, it's going to buzz everywhere. If it has back bow, like, you're not going to get any clear notes. If there's too much relief, it's going to be really stiff and uncomfortable, and then your upper registers is going to be impossible to play. So you put in proper relief in the neck, having proper nut slots, so your deflection at the first fret is where it needs to be. Too low, you're going to buzz open.
Yeah.
Too high, it's going to be really stiff on those cowboy chords. So we're making sure that there's proper slotted nut, and then your bridge height and saddle height has a lot to do with it as well. That's kind of the final thing of setting your string action. You know, we're measuring at the 12th fret and setting it up properly for acoustics and electrics. So it's kind of a balancing act, and then also pickup height matters a ton. If it's too close, it's not going to sound good. That magnet's going to mess with the string vibration. If it's too far away, you're going to get weak output.
Right.
So we're doing that, checking electronics, checking everything structurally, make sure it's good to go.
Now, a lot of players will have their own kind of personal preferences to where they want, how much output they want, what kind of action they want.
Yeah.
If you don't have a way to communicate with someone, do you kind of have some sort of like a baseline that you shoot from?
Yeah, I think there's kind of standard medium high action, which we're setting everything at, unless customer requests, which they do. You know, we have a lot of high end gear that we sell, so customers will call in or go on chat with Eric and be like, hey, I want to set my action really low. I'm a shredder, like as low as possible.
Yes.
Or they're like, hey, I'm a strummer. You know, I'm a rhythm guy. So can you set the action properly? This guy, the Gretsch that's on the bench right now, customer wanted 11s on there with a wound third. He's a rhythm guy, and so he had a very specific request for how he wanted the action set up, and so that's what I'm here to do. You know, I'm a rhythm guy, so it's really easy for me to relate with.
You kids at home, if you put a wound third on your guitar, don't try to bend it. It's not going to work out well for you.
Yeah. Or I had a buddy of mine recently buy a Sewer Classic Pro, and he wanted to play slide as well. And so we just raised the action up a little bit higher than normal so they can get the slide on there without hitting the frets or having it, getting too sizzly on them.
This brings up a good point, though, that you're not going to psychically guess what everyone wants. So when people purchase a guitar and want a specific setup, they should always name the what strings they want and the gauge, etc.
For sure.
Which, on another note, they do have to pay extra for if you want a different string gauge on there.
Yeah.
But what else do you like to hear from the customer of how they want their action set? What details do you want to hear?
Yeah, tuning is a big thing. Guys that are doing drop tuning, that's going to change relief in the neck. That's going to change how you set the action. You can't go too low if you're going to do drop C.
Yeah.
And everyone's request is like, I want it to play as low as possible without buzzing. And it's like, well, of course you do.
That old Venn diagram thing, you can't have all three in that meeting place there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then playing style is a big thing. Setups are very personal. So buying a guitar online, we offer a service that not a lot of guitar companies do. And so you can request how you want your guitar set up when you've just spent $3,000 on a PRS or a Sewer or a Tom Anderson, or a custom G&L or a beautiful Gretsch. And then also through the store, I think you were asking about that earlier, like we provide full repair services through the store as well.
Yes.
Very few things that we're not set up to do here, but everything from refrets, structural repairs, electronics repairs, we can do all that here.
So on that note, what is some of the larger repairs that you have taken over? Like, I know you've done a couple reconstructions or practically reconstructions. Can you give some details on some of those big jobs?
But done quite a few refrets lately on just restoring guitars that have, hit that 400,000 mile mark, like an old Toyota, and need some love. Right now I'm working on a 1940s Martin 0017, which I have a buddy of mine at Taylor Guitars has helped me do the neck reset on it, and then we're going to do full refret, new nut, new saddle, kind of get it back up to playing like a beautiful instrument that it is. So not only having the vintage mojo, but actually being a player as well. Had an old Gretsch New Yorker come through, an arch top.
I remember that one on the bench.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was kind of passed down through the family and was missing some original parts, and so we were able to track down a bridge that was close enough to the original specs and do a fret level on it, get it playing, make a new nut for it. Again, getting it back up to playing.
Any kind of heartbreak stories where something you couldn't save?
No, not here. I mean, at the other shops that I've worked at, definitely seen some girlfriend guitars as they're called, which just you try and stay out of that drama. But you do see them show up where they've been destroyed in fits of passion and rage.
And nothing you can do, huh?
Sometimes there's nothing you can do, or sometimes it's not worth it unless it's like a real sentimental. I did see a girlfriend guitar with a Gretsch White Falcon that we were able to restore.
Oh, really?
The repair shop at Buffalo Brothers, yeah.
Nice.
But it was I think it was a $1,500 bill on that guy.
Wow.
But it's a $3,500 guitar, so it's.
To bring it back to playing condition, a White Falcon is kind of worth it. So
yeah, it's definitely worth it. So luckily, I haven't seen any girlfriend guitars through here, so I've been able to kind of repair and bring things back to life as I see them.
Nice. Well, that's why you're the string wizard, necromancer of sorts.
I try to be the best that I can. Yeah.
So there are limitations, though, to what you can do. So what can you not do in here if someone is looking for, say, a refinish? I know you can't do that in here because
we're not really set up for refinish. California laws are pretty strict, and we just don't have the space. We're trying to build this out as much as we can, and Pitbull Audio is like crushing it right now, and they're just growing so much that we have so much inventory in here. It's hard to make room.
Yeah, this is really a tightly packed warehouse.
Yeah,
we're
we're bursting out the
Audio.
seams, which is a great problem, and just bringing on more staff, and it's a great company. So we're just super busy right now. So I'm trying to expand the space as much as we can, but we're not set up for finish repair, and we're not really set up for the big neck resets or the restorations like that. We just don't have the space or really the capacity to do that. So I bring in some techs from outside that I trust and know and are really experienced, especially with the vintage gear.
Yeah. Then that our customers can trust their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. So you are also a player yourself, of course. Why don't you tell me about your own home personal rig?
Yeah. I try and keep up with the gear snobs of our day. all those hashtag gear nerds out there.
Gear talk.
Gear talk, gear shots, gear abuse, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I have been very fortunate to kind of build up a good rig over the last 10 years of just doing the buying and selling. That's what you got to do. And reverb.com definitely helps with that. Like, thank you, Reverb. So mainly a singer-songwriter, so I've been playing acoustic most of my life and kind of focused on that. So I've got a Taylor GS7 that I was able to score used.
Nice.
And put a K&K pickup in that, the Pure Mini pickup, which I absolutely love. Just a little more woody, folky tone. And then electric rig, I've got a custom G&L that I ordered, a ASAP Blues Boy.
That's right.
That I absolutely love and got that this past year. I've got, for my amp, electric amp, I'm running a Bad Cat Cub 3 that I scored on Reverb. And we're a Bad Cat dealer as well, so we have them here now. But I was able to get this pre-production model that was made for Young the Giant, which was a pretty cool story that I snagged on Reverb and didn't even know it.
And I've got to play through that amp. That is a beautiful, beautiful sound.
Yeah, I
Bad
think
Cat.
it's definitely my favorite amp that I've owned. And then I've got a good little pedal board set up with a salvage custom pedal board. And then I've got some Strymon, JHS, Electro Harmonics, Matthews Effects on there. All the good guys.
So you are a choice gear player as well as a choice gear repair technician.
I try to be.
Yeah.
I try to be.
So this Gretsch here, is it pretty much done, or are you still working on it?
No, I think it's pretty much done. I'm going to check the relief one last time. Now I've put the 11s on it. Wanted to let it kind of settle in, and then I'll put the truss rod cover back on, which I am infamously known for not putting truss rod covers back on, and so I have customers call me and be like,
Because you forget?
"Hey, dude, guitar's awesome. Where's my truss rod cover?" I'm so sorry. I will mail that out to you immediately.
Somewhere lost on the bench over here.
Yeah. Well, I have it in the little tray, so there's one over there that I have for another customer that I need to mail to them. So I own it. I'm sorry. I repent.
So remove it and keep it at home maybe before
Yeah,
you send it out
exactly.
to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually keep mine off of my Taylor.
Oh, really? Oh,
Like,
that's
I don't even
right.
put it
Yeah,
on
I've
there
seen it on
because, I don't know.
You're going to take it off at some point anyway and lose it. So.
Totally. I'm always tinkering with it. I have my measurement exactly where I want it to be, and so I'm always checking the action on there and adjusting the neck. So.
Well, if folks want to come in here and meet you and get to know you before they give you their instrument, what days are you here at Pitbull Audio?
I'm here Monday through Friday from 10 to 6.
There you
And love having people in. I love talking in person. You're welcome to come back and check out the shop and hang out. And we're becoming quite the guitar shop, so we love guys coming in, making noise. We have a great pedal selection, great amp selection. Guitars are phenomenal here. Just such a diverse array and plethora of high-end instruments.
Yeah.
So we love it here. We have fun. We like to make noise.
We do. We do like to make a whole lot of noise in that front room where
Yeah.
you can go test out your freshly repaired gear through a pedal you've been thinking of buying through an
Yeah.
amp that you hopefully will be able to buy as well,
Absolutely.
actually.
Absolutely.
So anything else you want to tell your prospective customers and listeners of Sharpen the Axe?
No, thank you for your time. Power of the beard tone.
Yeah. Come on in and visit our string wizard, Sean Hutchinson, on Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.
Right on. I'm Eric Lucero
And I'm Paul Berezetsky.
of Sharpen the Axe on Enter Talk Radio, powered by Pitbull Audio. Thank you very much for joining us, guys.